Hey, welcome back, guys. Raising Kanan's fourth episode introduced a few major characters that'll impact the episodes to come this season and their controversial role in opposition to Rock's drug business ambitions. The question of family, loyalty, and discernment was largely at play also, leaving us on an uneasy conclusion that'll cost Rock the very family she's trying to maintain. I'm here to break it all down in typical Top 10 WTF fashion. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things power. Here we go. WTF moment number 10, the way of the world. Rock begins execution on her Jersey expansion plan by sending trucks of work over the bridge. However, the plan is violently sabotaged by a duo of Italian mobsters representing Sal Baselli. They savagely beat Rock's henchmen and assure him that nothing will flourish in Sal's territory without him getting a piece of the action. WTF moment number 9, enter Vernon Stark. Kanan seeks out his uncle Vernon in hopes of gaining more insight into the man believed to be his biological father, Defcon Stark. Kanan inquires about his father's true story and relationship to him, which only serves to incite a defensive response from his incarcerated uncle. Vernon vigorously assures Kanan of his lineage, hoping to inspire his hustle and dissuade his suspicion. WTF moment number 8, mix board be gone. Lulu arrives at his creative sanctuary only to discover that the mixing board has been removed. After Crown displays nonchalance in the matter, a flustered Lou emphatically confronts his temporary partner, costing him a bowl of cereal in the process. WTF moment number 7, the mother's mercy. Juke finally confronts her long-lost mother, Kenya, face-to-face. Following a few close calls, the estranged matriarch attempts to comfort her justifiably disgruntled daughter, who surpasses all niceties with demands of answers regarding her 14-plus year absence. Kenya pleads with her daughter for a chance to make amends, while providing a brief explanation for her lapse in their relationship. This meeting leads to Juke's attempt at bridging that gap through plans to attend her mother's church, which inspires small conflicts with the only family she's ever known in Rock and Marvin. WTF moment number 6, that funky smell. Rock and the gang meet over at the high-rises to discuss the hits on their business amidst a god-awful smell coming from the unit's walls. That smell can be traced back to Rock's Season 1 murder of the city inspector at Marvin's hands, who buried the lowly soul in the walls to evade such a decaying aroma. However, such a burial would prove futile in the short term, and his body just may be the one we see buried next episode in the Catskill Mountains of New York. Though I certainly hope this isn't the case. A bigger body for such an episode would be proper given the show's pacing this season thus far, which has been moderate at best. WTF moment number 5, Big Bad Baselli. The Italian mob boss and Jersey point man, Sal Baselli, is finally revealed, in emphatic fashion might I add, and makes his demands clear on doing business in his territory along with the price. Lou attempts to smooth over the tensions between the two opposing factions, only to be overruled by Rock and subsequently admonished. The reprimand was a subtle nod to The Godfather, where Michael checked Fredo for taking the side of Mo Green openly against his brother. Here, Rock maintains that same energy in relationship to family loyalty, a theme I'll be expanding on more in just a moment. WTF moment number 4, a unique problem. Neek clandestinely continues his reign of terror on Rock's organization this episode. He's depicted as taunting Juliana post-kidnapping, which has begun to cause a rift between the two women, Rock and Juliana of course, and could potentially cost Rock her Colombian connection in the future. Also, Neek has predictably enlisted Worrell to infiltrate Rock's business from the inside, something she attempted to do with Scrappy back in Season 1 against Neek unsuccessfully. Neek's efforts, however, have worked to great effect, as Rock's expansion attempts were perpetually foiled due to Worrell's information and his own alliance with Marco and the Italians, who this commentator believes he was communicating with prior to Burke's interruption at his shop. WTF moment number 3, Free Symphony. Rock goes house shopping with Symphony, hoping to utilize his proficiency in architecture for her benefit. The two briefly rekindle their romantic leanings during the excursion, but reality hits very quickly following the tour. Symphony begs Rock to stay away from him, deeming her influence to be more problematic than pleasing, especially considering what they had, coupled with what they could never be. It's a tough situation too, because Symphony's pain is omnipresent throughout their scene, but their severance is way past due, given the differences in their perspectives and occupations. Symphony's move was self-care at its finest, And Rock's pending romance with Cartier is self-interest in the same regard. She does like them thick after all. The symbolism of Symphony yearning to be Rock's home in lieu of her vacation was also heart-wrenching, given that they were touring Rock's prospective home in the process. WTF moment number 2, the future versus the present. Unsettled by his mother's fleeting explanation for having her son shoot Howard, Kanan pays the man claiming to be his biological father a visit towards the episode's conclusion. Though the foundation of their meeting remains a mystery, what's widely apparent is Rock's fear that she's losing her son, a fear based in realism, contrary to the lies she continues to tell Kanan and ultimately herself. And WTF moment number 1, the buses too. Rock arranges for a product to be shipped to Jersey in buses rather than pickup trucks to avoid Italian detection. However, her underestimation of Unique, combined with her foolish trust in Worrell, leads to her business being hit yet again by the competition. This state of affairs only serves to pile on the heap of problems mounting against the Queenpin, and her response will be vital to her survival in all areas going forward. Some lingering thoughts before we end today's video. The title of this episode was Pay the Toll, which means by extension that, quote, if you want to cross the bridge, you gotta pay the toll. The adage speaks to personal sacrifice in exchange for one's desires. In the literal sense, Rock's price of doing business in Jersey was paying tribute to Sal Baselli, which she foolishly refused. Cartier's conquest of Rock is officially underway, as he represents the savviness exemplified by Symphony without the L7 leanings. The art dealer and music manager will be an asset to Rock, not just in the streets, but from a legitimacy standpoint as well. It may even be the linchpin in Rock's decision to take over Lou's music business and wash her money through it. As much as Lou despises Crown, Duns can be a far greater evil in the episodes to come against his interests. The theme of family and loyalty was omnipresent throughout the episode. The people that are versus the people that couldn't be. Such a theme has fueled conflictions within Kanan and Jukebox especially. One searching for the father he never had, and the other searching for the mother she never knew. The sins of the past have come to collect on the overdue Thomas family bill and irreparably rupture the present towards an uncertain future. Rock is an artful liar and manipulator. On those two fronts, you gotta give it to her. Interweaving the very true aspect of the Central Park Five and police deception and corruption was ingenious to say the least. But once Kanan untangles that web of deception that his mother has placed him in, I wonder what her penance will be. Something big is coming, that's for sure. While we're on Rock, her fearlessness is admirable, but ultimately rooted in blind ego and pride. Waging a war on unfamiliar terrain against a highly organized unit while operating within a fractured unit via an unsure Lulu and treacherous Worrell is stupid at best. The Ghost Man once wisely stated that, quote, we can't expand under fire. And Rock is displaying why that nugget of wisdom was critical in advancing in the drug game. Contrary to the Queenpin, when Ghost Business was hit way back in Power Season 1, he limited expansion efforts until rooting out the perpetrator in Season 2, which was ironically Kanan. Perhaps Kay gained knowledge on how to successfully infiltrate a competitor's drug business by observing the downfall of his own mother's. Only time will tell. Did you all notice how Juke finding her mother is beginning to galvanize her own femininity? From the dresses to her hair, Juke's mother is inspiring that which is natural to come forth within her. Though this is one of the many positive aspects of her renewed energy balance, such a reunion is a major problem for Rock, as displayed by her adverse reaction to Kenya's resurgence. Juke may have just placed her mother in grave danger inadvertently. I'll be explaining this in much detail in the next one. And lastly, that Palomar woman was something special. She certainly had that one look in her eye for Kanan though, didn't she? In 2022, that's appalling, but the 90s was different all things considered. And it's interesting that the writers have included the distinction. Kanan's acceleration in development would sensibly coincide with his potential relationship with an older woman, and he might just be reminding the alluring Palomar of her Jeep. We'll see how that liaison pans out for him though. And that'll do it for this one. What were your thoughts on Raising Kanan's fourth offering? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.
Rudy beat that beat with a bad.